It's the All right, we're live. Hey, it's the Kratom Gals. This is a special edition. I'm Madeline Sklar, host of the Kratom Stories podcast. I'm here with the gals, plus some special guests, because we're going to do something a little different, something that is super cool. We're going to watch the world premiere of a brand new documentary that's coming out. This is the trailer for the documentary called The Green Miracle. We got Tim and Jordan here with us, the creators of this amazing documentary. Do y'all have an idea of when it's going to come out? Like officially the whole documentary? We're just watching the trailer today.
Yeah, I mean, it depends on the support that we get from the community and just how things line up. We can talk more afterwards, but there's been a lot of setbacks that have been working against us to get this published. But I think with every passing day of us working on this project, we get better and better at it. So I'm hoping maybe, what do you think, Jordan, like a year, maybe?
A year, yeah, for sure. For everything, for it to all get done. Maybe a little bit faster if funding comes in. If not, if we self-fund everything, it's going to take a little bit longer, but we'll get it done no matter what. So.
And one of the main things we're trying to do is keep regular communication with the community so that they're up to date. If things look like they're streamlining, hey, it's going to come out sooner. If setbacks happen, might take a little longer. But, I think talking with people is the most important thing.
For sure.
Definitely. Well, we're so excited to have y'all here with us. So we're going to watch this in its entirety. It's just about 6 minutes long. And I'm going to pull all of us off the screen. We're all going to watch it together. And then as soon as it's over, we're going to come back on the screen and talk about it. And we definitely encourage your comments. We already have some people here. Tracy's super excited. We're not going to show the comments during the trailer. We want to just have all of us focus on watching it. And then feel free to comment afterwards. It's going to be so much fun.
Share the live. Share.
Yeah, share this out. Everybody share this out. If you're watching this live, thank you for being here live with us. If you're watching the replay, what do y'all always say? Hashtag replay. Hashtag replay. Let us know you're watching the replay and share the replay as well. And let's cue this up. We're going to watch this, and I cannot wait to hear what everybody thinks. So here we go.
My name's Jordan Richard. I'm 32 years old. I'm a husband. I'm a father. I'm a business owner. And I used to be a drug addict.
My name's Chrissy, and I was an EMT, and in 2007, I got a back injury. I was on like 20 or 25 methadone a day.
What were you addicted to?
Pain pills, benzos, muscle relaxers, alcohol, and cocaine.
I've had 240 operations. I had lost all hope until I took that first dose of Kratom.
In the heart of America and around the world, a botanical revolution is brewing. A humble plant known as Kratom is captivating minds and igniting debates.
The FDA wanted to schedule Kratom and have it banned in the United States.
There is no one that can credibly say that the FDA is not heavily influenced by pharma.
As a member of the coffee family, it is praised for its reported benefits.
I have stopped 19 out of 21 meds.
Wow.
Because of Kratom.
And vilified for its potential dangers.
So why does she hate it though?
She says that, people have to die from it.
3 people have died from Kratom. That's 2 more than last year.
Kratom saved my life. It saved my kid's life. My life's completely different now.
It stands at the crossroad of hope.
We have our son back.
And controversy.
So what's the legal consequences if you're caught with Kratom in your state?
Well, you could be arrested.
But not all is well for the botanical newcomer. In an ever-divided nation, 2 opposing forces clash with fervor. On one side, impassioned advocates extol its life-saving virtues.
A Kratom advocate is somebody who publicly and passionately advocates to keep Kratom legal.
On the other, grieving voices mourn the loss of loved ones, attributing it to Kratom's alleged dark side.
A mother testified about the death of her son, and she said that her son had taken pure Kratom and had died.
In the halls of power, conflicting voices echo. The Food and Drug Administration sounds the alarm. branding kratom as a perilous opioid.
Substances like kratom fall into this conundrum where FDA can say, well, there's no benefit.
While the former head of Health and Human Services has warned of dire consequences if the plant were to be banned.
If there were truly 44 people that died of kratom and there are hundreds more that they claim, it would be banned.
Yeah.
The HHS said, no, it's not accurate.
Reaching far back through the centuries, kratom's story weaves through the fabric of Southeast Asian history, steeped in tradition, culture, and yes, controversy. It has been the companion of laborers and the solace of the suffering for centuries. In the modern world, its allure is promising and concerning. From the toiling fields to the urban sprawl, its users seek refuge from the shackles of depression, anxiety, opioid withdrawal, and the relentless grip of chronic pain.
I was on my way out the door to take my own life.
Yet amidst the clamor, a sobering truth emerges. Kratom's rise underscores a society grappling with the fallout of opioid overprescription and a populace desperate for relief from a healthcare system that has turned its back on them.
They fired me, and in the midst of me trying to find another pain management doctor, that's when I went to the streets and started doing cocaine.
In the tumult of conflicting narratives and fervent beliefs, one question lingers.
I'm noticing from talking to people that how many programs are there for the decriminalization of hard drugs because it's safer for people to consume rather than getting it in other illicit ways, and yet a lot of very powerful people are coming down on kratom trying to make it illegal. That to me is suspicious.
Is kratom a life-saving herb or a botanical menace?
Coroners called almost 60% of these deaths due to kratom or metrage.
As the debate rages on, the answer fades further into obscurity among the barrage of misinformation and implicit bias.
You were put in jail facing all these crazy charges for a plant.
Yeah, man, I do think it's bullshit.
But it appeared that the government was trying to do all they could to promote false information about kratom.
Join us
We're making a kratom documentary
as we travel the globe, interviewing real people with real stories and discovering why people support or condemn this mysterious herb.
I survived addiction.
We will be presenting the facts, challenging the narrative, and determining if the case for kratom can stand on its own.
I really stepped out of my comfort zone a lot.
For better or for worse.
Again, many of the individuals who currently are suffering from opioid addictions, they're most likely not even aware of the fact that kratom is available. I think it's one of nature's miracles.
So join us as we tell the tale of a little-known plant in Southeast Asia.
Wow.
Wow. Let me make sure everybody.
Man, the ending though gets to you.
Wow. Y'all be sure to all unmute. I think a couple of y'all are muted. Wow. That was powerful.
That was powerful. Yes.
Yeah.
Me and Jordan put a lot of effort into that.
Definitely did.
That was amazing. You
you.
packed a lot into a 5 minute and 57-second trailer, and it was amazing.
Oh, thank you. What I keep telling people is, personally myself, and I know everybody in this room, we're pro kratom, but a lot of people out there, you have to ask, like, why should they care? Why should they care about kratom? And the more I started getting into the story and learning about all of this, because I'm like a relatively newcomer here. I've only been taking kratom for like maybe a year and a half. And the more I learned from people like you and like Jordan, there's just this wild story of suppression and misinformation and greed. And I feel like the merits of kratom stand on their own. Like, you don't need to spin this in any kind of way to make it look bad or worse. If you lay the facts out there, it can defend itself. So that's kind of the goal of this project, is to take a more or less neutral standpoint and show people, look, this is what the story is. This is what certain government agencies have done. This is how it's actually helped people. You draw your own conclusions, because we live in an age where there's so much misinformation out there. And to me, I feel like if you get it from people themselves, that's the best source, in my opinion. So
that
100%.
misinformation is why Marshall is dead.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, now I got to give credit to Jordan on that one. He said we should do something for him, because again, I don't really know all the details around it. But again, these are crazy stories that are coming to my attention. I feel like need to be told. And he mentioned that too. It's like if the laws weren't so crazy, maybe he would still be here. I don't know. I don't want to say that, but it is a very, very, very unfortunate story.
I guess our main perspective too is, you know, because we all know the truth about Kratom. Kratom saved my life. If I didn't find Kratom, wouldn't have met my wife. I wouldn't have all these, you know, beautiful kids running around. But the vast majority of the public doesn't know that. And there's so much. The more you deep dive, the more twisted the story gets. From like, there's so much corruption. There's a lot of stuff, because the mainstream narrative is completely different from what we're hearing. The vast majority of Kratom users, that's what they're saying. It's a story that needs to be told, and I feel like it's a story that really hasn't been told yet about Kratom. Like going back all the way even to Indonesia, the cultural reference over there to, from the, as you're saying, from the toiling fields to the urban sprawl. Like now in America, it's having so much of a positive impact on people's lives. And again, we're not just trying to make a promotional on Kratom, but we're telling the truth. Like that's what we're saying. Like we're going to interview people that are anti-Kratom. We'd love to hear their side as well, but we're just trying to paint the full story so people can learn more than just simply going on the computer and Googling Kratom.
We've been granted with a newfound life because of Kratom. We ain't got no damn time to lie.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
Yeah. Even I'm sorry, cut you off.
No, go ahead.
I'll say even my wife, who's never had a drug problem, like she benefits from Kratom. My in-laws who never had a drug problem benefit from Kratom. It spans so many different cultures and different people's backgrounds, but it all comes down to one thing, this one leaf that can benefit this wide variety of people, which I think is the most fascinating thing. Do you have anything to say?
No.
Oh, okay.
Never mind. Listening.
Yeah.
Yeah, I absolutely agree. That's what I think is just so amazing. It's like, you know, we've all come from different places. We're all from, you know, just different ways of life. But, you know, we all come together because of this plant. You know, we all have that in common. And it's like, you know, we're a family. I feel like we're all family.
Yes. Kratom
Yeah.
is the common denominator. You know, not all of our stories are different. It's not supposed to be the same.
Yeah.
You know, and we all came together because we all found Kratom.
Exactly. And that was actually me and Tim kind of went on a different approach at first. Like it was mainly focused on like addiction, you know, people getting over addiction, but Kratom spans so much more than that. You know, people use it for mental illness stuff. People use it for pain or for energy or for focus or depression, anxiety. And my wife's the one that pointed out to me, she's like, you're too focused. Like it's like too much of your own story, you know, like you got to tell everyone's story, which is so true. Like Kratom is so versatile. And that's why we're trying to get way more interviews of people that aren't exactly like us. Like we'll be going to Minnesota. There's this, I'm sorry to do a spoiler, Tim, but it was just such a cool story. Why don't you say it, Tim?
So, as I mentioned, I've only really been taking Kratom and involved in the community for, I'd say, like barely a year and a half. My family's even less so knowledgeable of any of this. And I was talking to my dad about the trailer and the progress that we're making. And he called me randomly like a week ago. And he said one of his coworkers contracted Lyme disease, I guess. He got bit by a tick, developed Lyme disease. And he said he was developing symptoms of fibromyalgia, but he doesn't have fibromyalgia. I guess that disease tricks your brain into having certain symptoms that you don't really have. Mm-hmm. And same story. He said he's tried everything. He's tried pills. He's tried medicine. And he's like, the only thing that helped was this plant called Kratom or whatever. And my dad goes, Kratom? He's like, my son's working on a documentary on that. And he's like, that's the only thing that's helping. And he goes, now that's weird because I only hear that from him. You're the first person I've heard on my own who's told me a similar story. So my dad told him about the project, and he's like, if they can get out here, I'd love to talk on that movie because apparently it saved his life too. Like from what I understand, Lyme disease can be not terminal, but like it'll kind of ruin your life.
Debilitating.
And if you found a natural substance that's actually helping you, not only is that a miracle as it is, as we go by, but the main kicker for this story with me is why, I mean, I know why, but why is it being suppressed so much? Is it
money?
Just that much greed? Because you found something that's actually helping people, and that's not what it's about. It's about squeezing as much money. That, I think, is a story people who have nothing to do with Kratom are going to want to know about.
I think you said it perfectly too. You're like, I'm curious, all these government officials are trying to, get people clean needles and safe injection sites, to make it safer, but they demonize Kratom. Like that is suspicious. That's very suspicious.
Yeah, so they find a way to tax it or something. But right now, that's the linchpin of the story is whether you're pro, anti, I don't care, whatever. I think most people know Big Pharma's corrupt. Most people already know that.
Yeah.
And when you start talking to actual people, like Dion has her leg amputated and she was suicidal. And she said, the only reason I'm here is because of a plant. That doesn't just happen. You don't just drop 19 pills. Otherwise, everybody would do it. Exactly. And I feel like there's a really big story here. And I'm grateful for the privilege to be able to tell it because storytelling is just everything that I am. It's my whole personality, and this is something that I really do believe in, and everybody's been awesome so far.
Yeah, we definitely need to thank Dion a lot because she helped us so much behind the scenes. Dion Evans, she helped us a tremendous amount. So special shout out to her.
She's amazing. Yeah, I interviewed her for the Kratom Stories podcast a while back, and oh my gosh, what a story she has. So yeah, I just love her. I'm so glad that y'all have her in this documentary.
It means so much to her, and like we were gonna put like a subplot of her progress, and originally it was gonna be trying to have her go to Washington D.C. Unfortunately, she couldn't make it, but like we're still maintaining a lot of contact with everybody because, like I said, there's just so many amazing stories with everyone that it would be a shame to not tell it. Like, I don't know, it's just awesome.
Yeah,
there's an idea.
Hmm.
Instead of you two having to travel everywhere in the United States, why don't you have everybody travel to you? Do like a retreat.
Oh, yes.
Right.
It's an idea.
Kratom spa.
Yeah, we could all go.
Yeah.
We all can go camping in the woods right here.
Or
We're
all
good.
go meet up in Vegas or
So
something.
I'll kind of let everybody in on like the roadmap we've got going on right now. So we do have a coffee website set up where we are accepting donations, but we're trying to figure out the best platform so that those who feel so inclined to donate and help us with this project, which will go to production costs, any extra equipment we need, primarily travel. Like we did want to travel to the East Coast and try to contact Dr. McCurdy. I heard there was some kind of kratom plantation in Florida. I don't know if that's true, but I'd like to get some information about that.
There is.
Yeah. The person I just mentioned in Minnesota. And ultimately, we'd like to go to Indonesia too to speak to people from Indonesia and how kratom is mixed in with their culture and their lives. All this, I think, is amazing information for people to have. So that is what the donations will be used for. We do have like I said, a coffee page set up on our website where people can feel free to donate. We're more than likely going to have way more footage than we're ever going to be able to put into the movie. So me and Jordan are in talks about possibly opening a separate YouTube page or Facebook page where we just do interviews of people telling us their stories. Kind of like, I don't know if anybody's familiar with like Soft White Underbelly. It's this really popular YouTube channel where he'll interview. Yeah. Something along that vein, where we want to hear your story of what you've been through and how kratom has made you feel. Because I think that's important. And that brings so much more personality and gives people a place to speak. Like there's not really a place where people can really say what they've been through. And I think that's important. So that's on the ballot too, but that'll be down later.
Yeah, definitely.
Can somebody post that coffee link in the socials in the comments so I can put it on the screen? I just put it in the private chat here. If somebody could do it on one of the Facebooks.
Yeah, Tim's the tech. Tim's the tech guy. I'll just sit back.
Well, once this broadcast is over, anybody can just go over to the Kratom Stories podcast YouTube. I'll make sure the link is in the description here. It's the link to, it's called Coffee, KO-FI. It's very much like Buy Me a Coffee or some of these others where you can make a donation. And so you guys are taking donations.
Like a tip system.
Yeah.
Yeah, and we're also in the works of. Sorry, my kids are screaming in the background. Of soon working with a nonprofit for Kratom. So other vendors or people that would like to make larger donations, it's all tax deductible as well. There's just some paperwork issues that we're still trying to work out, but a lot of amazing people within the Kratom community are helping us with that, getting the nonprofit actually up and running, and that nonprofit is based solely on botanical education. That's it.
This started off as two dorks wanting to make a movie, wanting to tell a story, and we're having to juggle nonprofits and make sure that we stay within the legal bounds. So it's intimidating. It can be scary at times, but it's also a huge privilege too. Like just seeing everyone's reaction after I was like, you couldn't see me, but my heart was racing over here thinking, I hope they don't hate it.
Yeah, me too.
But just seeing everybody's reaction, like that gave me that's why I do this, is because I want to make something that touches people's hearts like that. And this isn't just me, like it's because Kratom is so important to everybody. I have the ability to tell the story. That's all it is. But it's one of those things that just means so much to me, and I'm so grateful for it. So
like when you interviewed us, when we show up there, I was not expecting to walk into something with you had all that equipment set up. It was just so professional. I was not expecting that at all.
Well, maybe we can have a paid VIP tier to hear all the adult jokes you were slinging back and forth.
Yeah.
In between takes.
But it's funny that you see all that professional equipment and you don't realize that we forgot most of it at home and had to go to Best Buy 3 times to buy more stuff because we're people that have really bad ADD and lose everything all the time.
Yep.
So, yeah.
I want to let y'all know we will replay. For those that got here late, we did start off playing the trailer for the new documentary, and we will play it again whenever we get towards the end. So for anybody that missed it, just stay here. Don't go anywhere. Also, here is the website where you can make a donation, the coffee website. So that link is ko-fi.com/thegreenmiracle. Let me put that link back up. So you guys can, if you want to donate to this project, and how long did y'all say? You still have a long ways to go, like about a year?
We have a long way to go, but we'll get it done no matter what.
Yeah.
If we could
I have
get
no doubt.
anywhere close, we spitballed about, the budget in there is $15,000. If we don't even get anywhere near that, we're still going to make it happen. But that would be enough to really drop what we're doing, get the equipment we need, and we're going to fly to the East Coast, work our way back to the West Coast, just interviewing everybody and just make it as efficient as possible, because we're kind of on a roll here. We got some momentum going. We just need some extra help getting there. So I'm anticipating about a year. If it speeds up, wonderful. But like I said, we're trying to remain as transparent as possible, because I know we both know how important this is for a lot of people to make sure we get it right. So
yeah,
documentaries take a long time. They're not like an overnight thing.
No,
they can sometimes take years and years in some cases. So
yeah.
And I'm glad y'all are doing this.
Thank you. And again, it's more about telling everyone's story. I don't feel like there's that much positive information out there. And again, so we're not trying to make just a commercial for Kratom, but there is a truth. Some people say, "Oh, my truth," but there is the truth with a lot of things. And with Kratom, we're trying to tell the truth of the community, but also just the truth about Kratom in general. There's so much misinformation out there, and people just love to I don't know, especially me being on TikTok, I've realized how many people have the totally wrong misconception of Kratom.
Mm-hmm. And there's so many people that could be benefiting, so many people that, it's changed all of our lives, you know what I mean? And there's so there's just a better way out there for so many more people and they don't know.
So there's a clip that we're gonna put in the film. We couldn't fit it into the trailer. There's two pieces of an interview where one was with Dr. Henningfield, where he basically said that when they were in their research labs researching the effects of mitragynine on mammals, they said they injected as much mitragynine into a rat as you could physically put into a rat, and it fell asleep and woke back up. And he said if we'd have done a fraction of that with opium, it would have had a respiratory failure and died. He goes, now it's not conclusive, but that would indicate that biologically it is impossible to overdose on kratom. And
I always
he also
say it, dude. I'm always like, they can't even kill rats with kratom.
Right, but he said that, and he's like, most people that we've interviewed or that we've studied who have taken kratom, he's like, they tend to use it to get off of their addictions. He's like, he literally told us, he's like, if you want to get high, there's way better alternatives out there.
Yeah,
exactly.
So it's
and he also said that the vast majority of people use kratom to regain their life, while the most people use drugs to escape life. And I thought that was like, holy crap, that's me.
Yeah.
It's like 100% my whole life, you know.
Honestly, kratom gave me CPR. You know, it revived me.
Oh, yeah, I totally get that. And we were kind of talking.
I'm telling you, I was on a slow suicide for 11 years straight without even realizing, you know, because I was so focused on just escaping reality, escaping what was going on around me, you know. And so, like I say, you know, I found kratom and it gave me CPR.
1000%. And I was mentioning earlier how a lot of people have a misconception of kratom. Tim was actually one of those people. He was struggling with alcohol and was looking natural ways to, you know, get off alcohol, and he saw kratom and read it and was so scared. But luckily he saw my car, which is like all like wrapped up in kratom stuff, and he's like, I'm just gonna go talk to this guy. You know,
so well, he's downplaying it. I followed him like for a few streets.
He stalked me. Sorry, I forgot.
Because I also went online and saw a bunch of articles from like NIDA, Mayo Clinic, saying that it's the next opioid epidemic waiting to happen. It's dangerous. And I remember telling myself, like, well, I guess that one's off the ballot. You know, I'll try kava, or they had like chamomile or something like as an alcohol replacement. And yeah, I was driving down the road and I saw his car. He's got kratom stickers all over it. And I popped a U-turn and followed him until he got to a shop. And then, we had a conversation and he explained like, well, what I know now, like there's a lot of propaganda out there. I would, you know, just explained everything. He gave me a little bag of kratom. And after that, I went sober, completely bone dry for like a year. And nothing's been able to help me do that. Like nothing. And like, I'll still drink now, I'll have a beer here and there, but I was going through
but
like
you don't crave it.
No, I don't. And I used to go through like 2 handles, those jugs of vodka a week.
Yeah.
Like just putting it away. I was overweight, like super unhealthy. And it's the only thing that, like you said, it was like CPR. Like it didn't like cure me. I don't want to say it cured me, but it gave me what I needed to get myself back on track. And it changed the whole trajectory of my life. And I think now I have a horse in this race too of telling the story. I want the facts to get out there. So
yeah, and I'd like to also tell people too, especially people that are going to donate, no mention of New Hope will be in the film. I'm not going to accept people's donation and then make a promotional piece about myself.
It's not a commercial.
It's not a commercial. So no vendors are going to be mentioned. This is strictly about people's stories and science and getting the truth out there about kratom. So I just want to make that very clear.
That's great.
Very clear.
Yeah, I just made the first donation, by the way.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you,
I hope to see more in there.
We're going to Indonesia.
Yeah, we're
going. There's there's a lot. Sorry, we have a full house, so many kids, so many animals, grandmas, but also too, like it's. Well, I got a new baby on the way, due in 3 weeks or something like that.
Congratulations, by the way.
Yeah, congrats.
And then I had a lot of family stuff. Tim went through some tragedy. That's why it took us so long. We should have had the trailer.
Yeah,
a
so
long time ago.
If we have the time, I can tell you a little bit of the struggles we've been going through with this whole thing. So it's been about a year today when we originally went to San Diego and got those clips with Mac, with Senator Bramble, with Kennedy. That was about a year ago today, and that feels like it was centuries ago, because on the way back from San Diego after getting all that footage, my wife divorced me. she gave me papers when I came back, and I didn't expect anything. It wasn't any kind of like, oh, we're in separate rooms. She's moved out of the house. I was gushing to Jordan about how much I loved her on the way home, and then boom. And
even on the way there, she's like, "Wish you guys the best of luck. Can't wait for you to get home.
yeah,
Love you so
just
much."
completely unexpected, and it, to say the least, threw a wrench in my gears. So, I mean, I'm so grateful that Jordan has been helping me through all of this. He's honestly become my best friend, and
He became your new wife.
yeah, well, I ain't seen any benefits if that's the case. But no, like when I was just been in like really dark places, he would call me and be like, dude, I know you're going through a lot, but I really think you got to put more energy into the movie. Like, it'll keep you distracted in a good way. And he's right. We went to Sacramento to get the footage with Dion. We went to DC, like all of this against the backdrop of me just losing my entire family. And not only am I dealing with that, but like Jordan said, he had an unexpected baby on the way. I mean, that his is a much better outcome, but that's a life-changing circumstance. So this has been far from smooth sailing, but it also feels like because we've gotten to this point, despite all of that, nothing's going to stop it now. We're going to make sure that it gets finished because, we didn't give up for both of us. So yeah, it's been hard, but honestly, being here is awesome.
You unexpectedly gained a new family. I would have never known who you was unless we went to DC, and we had such a blast. We had such a good time.
That was funny. I
without drugs, without alcohol.
Yeah. No, I haven't laughed that hard in a long time. That was good.
The Kratom community is filled with the nicest people ever because everyone does come with a story, and it's usually not the best story. A lot of people who take Kratom have struggled either with, mental health stuff, chronic pain, or addiction. And when you get this new lease on life, it's like you become such a, better person. Like you're just so much more nice and everything. I don't know. It's just, we really want to tell this story like really bad.
Well, and it, like you mentioned too, like you just reminded me with the mental health stuff. I realized now that I've been sober, that's why I was drinking. I didn't really enjoy being drunk. I really don't like that feeling, but I was suffering from really bad social anxiety. Like you wouldn't think now with as chatty as I am right now, but that's because of Kratom. I would usually drink to get in this state, and it was costing way more than it was giving. And now that I've been able to find something that for myself personally has switched out my alcohol habits, I've been losing weight. I feel like more attentive and alert. And like you were saying, we had such a great time in DC and there wasn't any drugs involved. That's amazing. Yeah. I mean, if it were that easy, everybody would be doing it.
Yeah. I feel like sometimes, like before I found Kratom, a lot of people, when you're miserable, they say misery loves company. I feel like you sometimes just want to sit around and complain, and some people want to bring others down. But it's like when you get a new lease on life, you just kind of want to boost everybody up. You know what I mean? And just be happy like you are. Just, I don't know. That's kind of cool.
And I think that's a cornerstone with this film project too, because you're right. You were in rock bottom. You knew how bad it was, and you see how much better your life is now. You want to help people get there.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I think that's not only a beautiful thing, but I think that also kind of echoes the sentiment with the film project. And also if we do decide to do like an interview thing on YouTube, people can not only hear your encouraging stories, but maybe they can see like, hey, like she was able to get out of her situation. Maybe I can get out of mine. Maybe this will help me too.
Yeah.
We should be building each other up. I think there's already so many things tearing us down. Like we should be building each other up.
I love that the documentary is going to not just be one-sided, that you're going to paint the whole full picture. I think that's great.
Yeah.
Yeah. We've actually been struggling though to get a lot of the anti-Kratom people.
I bet.
It's been very hard. And I try. I guess I'm a little bit of an instigator, as my wife would say. On like TikTok. But like I don't know, I try to be nice, I guess, and have people to interview, but they just, I don't know, they block me. They'll say, it's a waste of my time.
I think this is where like me and Jordan are a good team with this, because we both bring different things to the table. I'm more of a visionary. I have like the whole movie planned out in my head. I just got to get it on the screen, but I can get really discouraged. Jordan is the one like, come on, man, like we got to do it. He's got this will that just inspires you.
And I'm hilarious. You forgot hilarious.
He's pretty funny. That is true. But there's been instances where if you run into someone who's maybe a bit of an instigator, Jordan ain't really gonna let it sit down. He's gonna have to say something. Right?
Oh yeah.
So
We
which
see-
there,
we
that could be okay. So that can be appropriate sometimes, but where my perspective is on that is if we really do believe that in this instance Kratom is a genuinely good thing, there's no smoke and mirrors, there's no lies, give a neutral platform for both people to speak. Like spit the facts out there and let people draw their own conclusions. We're not trying to hide anything.
Go? You should go to that subreddit. Go post up.
Oh well, I mean,
that's not
I don't think most Redditors can't really be reasoned with. That's just kind of what comes with the
true.
territory.
That's facts right there.
Yeah.
Like I said,
So,
they love to be anonymous. They love to stay anonymous. You know, they don't want to accept accountability for where they fucked up at.
Yeah.
Yeah, and like I said, I'm not trying to make a film that's like the Kratom version of Jerry Springer, where you just look at people that are just like arguing with each other because it's entertaining. I genuinely want to know what it is that, in your experience or your perspective, that you think Kratom is so dangerous over. Did you lose someone? Do you have a bad experience? What don't I know? Teach me what I don't know. And I feel like that's beneficial because either you're going to educate me or I'm going to educate you. And everybody benefits as a result. But if people, it's no secret that there's people out there that just live off of drama and arguing, and I'm just not one of those people. I don't.
Yeah.
This project isn't what that's about. Maybe something else, but not this one.
No, we really want to get the truth.
Yeah, just a warning. You know, there are some of those folks slithering in the Kratom community, so you got to be careful too.
Yeah.
Well,
we're open to it.
Yeah, like we're just trying to have conversations. We're not trying to make anybody look bad or humiliate anybody or anything like that. Like I genuinely want to know what's your perspective, and because we have a lot of people that are telling us good things. You know, I want to hear any potential bad things because the whole point is as neutral as I can be with the stories, so that a viewer can draw their own conclusions. That is the key to the whole thing that we're trying to do.
Just because we're pro Kratom doesn't mean that like we're gonna try to get like a gotcha moment, you know, or something like that. Like we genuinely want to hear what people have to say because that's how you. I don't know. We think the Kratom can stand for itself, but we don't want to not give someone a platform just because they don't agree with us. You know, so many people do that today, put political culture, all that type of stuff. You know, if you don't think like me, like I automatically hate you. You know, we're trying to be as nice as possible to people to interview them, all that kind of stuff. I've reached out to some of the moms and, you know, I've wished them like my deepest condolences and I'd love to talk to you. You know, I said we'd be happy to take you out to lunch, all that type of stuff, you know. And I know responses, but that's okay.
Typical.
We're gonna. I know there's people out there that will do it. It's just Kratom has such a positive impact on most people's life that it's like we have too many interviews. So many people want to be a part of this, like in a great way. But like it's so much harder for us to get the negative side.
I didn't even know you was doing this until we were in DC, and you just happenstance to mention it while we were there.
Well, we didn't really know what we're doing. Like he walked into my shop. We became like friends. He did like a little commercial for us, and he's never done anything this big. I've never done a documentary. I have no idea, you know. And I was like, dude, do you want to do a documentary? He's like, yeah, sure, that sounds good. And then like we're like
literally how it started.
Yeah, and then it's like, oh, like Dion's the one that was kicking us in the ass. Like, are you going to do something about this? You know, that it's kind of like, you know, you get momentum and more stuff happens, and then you kind of understand what you're doing. Like me and Tim put that trailer together within 3 days, right? When we actually sat down to do it.
So when life stops punching you in the ribs, Jordan comes over and he's like, let's get this done. And I think for like 3 days straight, he was at my house like 9 a.m. to like 7 p.m. And we just got the whole thing done. And I mean, there was a lot of like stock assets that we had to use to kind of fill in some of the gaps because we can only film so much. But it was enough to tell the story. And now people can kind of see what we're capable of, where we're going with this. And then if we do end up getting more support, it's going to be more of what we just presented. But yeah, I mean, Jordan's right. We just put our nose to the grindstone and got it done. You know, it's what you got to do sometimes. But it did start out that way. Like, I wanted to do the trailer for Jordan's company because it helped me so much with my alcoholism. And I was like, more people got to know about this, man. Like, let me help you. And then I did the trailer.
Welcome
and he's
to
like,
our
yeah,
world.
right.
Right?
And yeah, we did the trailer, and he's like, you want to do a movie? And I'm like, sure. And I think it was very like flimsy, like we'll see where it can go, until we came back from San Diego, because that was the most hairball, no sleep, no preparation, no equipment. We're writing questions at 1 a.m. and got to pick them up at 4 a.m. Like the most extreme circumstances, and we aced it. We got perfect interviews, and when we were done with that, we were like, "Oh, we can do this. Like, we can actually make this happen."
Well, they had no idea because we're picking up senators, you know, the Speaker Pro Tem of the state of Rhode Island, Mac Haddow, and like for refreshments, I just bought double stuffed Oreos. That's it. Like,
hey, they were gone though. They
ate all of it. Like, but it was just such a I don't know,
great.
like a cool experience because like at first, you know, like when they kind of walk in there, I think obviously they're used to like a certain standard of living and all that type of stuff, and we're just two normal dudes, like normal. Here's your double stuffed Oreos, you know, and but by the time they left, like they became like such good friends with us, and they're like, I remember Senator Bramble. By the time he left, he goes, "You two are the ones that are supposed to tell this story." He's like, "Don't stop." Oh no, that was Jack Henningfield.
That was Henningfield.
That was Henningfield.
Yeah.
But even
The
like
fact,
the speaker,
Jordan, the fact that you were able to interview Jack Henningfield is huge.
Yeah.
And he gave us his card. He's like, "If you want to talk to us again, I'm more than willing."
Wow.
Yeah.
He hardly ever will do interviews ever.
Yeah, it's kind of like, you know, I at first I've broke down and cried so many times during this because it's like I'm not good enough, I can't do this, I'm just an addict, you know, all this stuff in your mind replaying. And after Jack, I interviewed Jack, I cried like that was the part in the trailer, you know, where you see him holding my hand, like clapping my hand.
He was good.
It was right after we interviewed Jack because there's like so many emotions, and I think of interviewing all these like, you know, just in people that are very involved in the government, and it's like, holy crap, like everything just kind of hits you all at once. Then I had double stuffed Oreos and I felt better. But yeah.
Well, just after just seeing the trailer, I mean, it's amazing. I think y'all are gonna do an amazing. I can't wait. I kind of wish we had just watched it now.
I know.
I know.
Are y'all planning for this to be like a full length documentary, like you know, not just like a short?
About an hour and a half, right, Tim? Is that what you're saying?
We're probably thinking there's a lot of story to tell here, and I still think even if we did like a 2-hour documentary, we still wouldn't be able to tell everything. So,
yeah,
from what I've seen, in terms of content produced in this realm, nobody talks about the plant itself. Nobody talks about the history behind it, the legal struggles. It's almost like it's either you're bashing on it or you're doing a commercial for your shop, basically. There's no unbiased take on what it is, how it's helping people, the struggles it has. And I think we're in a unique situation to tell that story because nobody else is really doing it. And like Misty was saying, I think that is kind of emanating because I know Jack doesn't really do interviews. I know Dr. McCurdy doesn't really do interviews. And all of them have basically said, like, yeah, whenever you're ready, like, we'll set it up. So that's a huge privilege. And it helps me to feel even more like I want to make sure I do this 100% right. To not, you know, cross anybody or like mishandle this privilege because it's huge. And if we do it right, I mean, you never know. What if there's some huge case that comes down and they use this film as a form of evidence to lay out the facts for Kratom, you know, like, I don't know. It could really turn into anything.
Like I told you, Tim, I was like, the way that the documentary A Leaf of Faith accidentally saved my life and it saved Madeline's life.
Yeah.
This documentary is going to accidentally save somebody. You will see.
Yeah.
It will
A
be
lot
priceless.
of people.
A lot of people.
A lot of people. Because look at how many people discovered Kratom through A Leaf of Faith documentary, and that came out 5 years ago. More than 5 years.
And that was a great documentary. They did a great job. I guess we're just focusing more on, like, I would say science. I think that documentary changed so many people's lives, 100%. And Kelly Dunn did an amazing job on that. Same with Chris Bell. Most respect to those guys. I guess what I'm saying is we didn't want to make a copy of Leap of Faith, so we just went like a different direction than they did. But they did. They saved so many people's lives with that film, and they deserve all the credit. They're the pioneers in this space. So
yeah, no, and what you were saying, Misty, like that. I mean, that is something that kind of chokes me up a little bit. And like, I don't know, I'm not trying to come off as some kind of like gloating person, but if someone does see this film and they get their life together, like that's huge. That would mean a lot to me, And I hope so. Like, I think that's what's keeping us going, is just saying, like, the plan helped me. It helped everyone in this chat room, everyone on stream watching. It's helped all of us in some way or another. And if you watch the trailer again, Kennedy has a little piece at the very end where he said most people that are going through struggles or addiction, they're probably not even aware that Kratom exists.
Exactly.
Right. Same thing happened to me. Same thing. I didn't even know Kratom was even out here. And here, we make our TikToks, right? And yes, our TikToks do accidentally save somebody's life, but your documentary is going to be on a grander scale. So that's going to be priceless. Always remember that.
Well, and like I always say too, like it's starring Jordan Richard. It's a film by me, but it stars all of you too, because it's your stories. So it wouldn't be anywhere if we didn't have everyone here so willing to just share, admittedly, intimate details about themselves. Not everyone can get on camera and say, "Yeah, I was a cocaine addict. Yeah, I was that." Like that.
I was slopping. Oh, never mind. I was gonna say what Missy said. Never mind.
Behind the scenes, man.
I stopped myself.
That's privileged material.
Yeah.
But I was just saying, like, it's a lot to share, and at the end of the day, like, I can't sit on there and be like, "Look at this film that I made, and it's all me original." It's all of you guys. You're the ones that are making it come to life. So we all are in this together. It's a story about all of us. And I'm just, like I said, I have the privilege of telling the story, but it's your story. It's your guys' story. So
when we're in the editing room, it's, I don't know, there's just something that me and Tim have together that, we're just such goofballs at the same time. Like 90% of what we do is dad jokes, but like the 10% is like so amazing when we're actually in the studio getting it all done. And I'm just being a little bit facetious with that, but like we work great together, and we become great friends through this. And Tim is, I don't know, he's kind of like a visionary in a lot of ways. He can see things, and I don't know. I feel really blessed that we became friends, and that he wanted to work on this with me, because it was just an idea. Like, that's it. I was like I said, let's do a documentary. He's like, sure. And here we are now. Still a long way to go, but I think for two guys that don't have any experience with this, we did a good job, and I think the community will be proud.
Everything happens for a reason.
For sure.
Yep.
Well, I definitely have some ideas of how you could use all the footage that you are collecting to help raise money. So we should talk later. Like,
yeah, I'd love to hear it.
YouTube subscriptions or Patreon or something, because I would love to see like everything, and I'm sure a lot of us would as well. I'm sure a lot of us are going to watch the documentary and go, "I want to see like the 10 hours of footage and more."
I want to see the bloopers.
Those two.
Oh yeah.
Those two. Yeah, so that's the idea. Is we're trying to create a product that is going to be, like I said, something that touches everybody's heart. But there's going to be so much leftover footage, and I'm like, I don't want to just throw it away, So we're thinking of doing something like that. But yeah, I'd love to hear your ideas.
Maybe you should create a blooper reel type thing to add the donations to that part.
Yeah. Tracy likes the idea.
Yeah, like Tracy said.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, let me see what I got, because there were some zingers in there last time I checked. Some really funny stuff. Might have to put a disclaimer on your part though, Misty. Adult warning disclaimer.
Well, go ahead.
Oh, I'm sorry. I was just saying DC was actually one of the best times of my life. It was kind of hard for me though, because my wife like just told me that we were having a baby and I was leaving, so it was like really weird. She was pregnant, having all these kids, the grandmas live with us and all that type of stuff. And, but then to meet everyone, and it's like, holy crap, like that DC trip was truly amazing when you look back on it, meeting everyone and being there. It was really cool.
I think Cherie deserves a shout out too, because she's been a trooper
does.
through all of this.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? When we got to drop what we're doing and go to DC, I mean, it's hard to watch all those kids, and like she's been just awesome through all of it. So
special shout out to my wife. Thank you.
Yeah,
Yeah,
no, she deserves some credit there.
Yeah.
For
It's
sure.
been-
Well,
yeah, it's been amazing so far.
we'll definitely have y'all come back on the Kratom Gals. I mean, this is our special edition because we were so eager to watch the trailer, and we're going to play it again for everybody. But we'll have y'all come back on sometime, and we'll play it another time and have y'all come on and talk some more. Maybe we can collect some questions from the Kratom community that they would want to ask you, and we can do it in a Q&A here.
Sure. No, we'd love to be back on. You know, maybe we'll have some more material to share. Maybe a blooper reel.
Some bloopers. Yeah, I think you should put some bloopers together. I think that would be a hit.
Yeah.
In the community, I think everybody would love to see that. That'd be a great way to raise some money.
I think.
All right, so we're gonna.
Sounds
Yeah,
good.
So we're gonna close this out with watching the trailer again. It is just under 6 minutes long. It is amazing. So we're gonna play that for you all, and then we'll come back and wrap up real quick. So yeah, let's watch it.
Comes the tears again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's good. It's good. All right, here we go.
My name's Jordan Richard. I'm 32 years old. I'm a husband. I'm a father. I'm a business owner. And I used to be a drug addict.
My name's Chrissy, and I was an EMT, and in 2007, I got a back injury. I was on like 20 or 25 methadone a day.
What were you addicted to?
Pain pills, benzos, muscle relaxers, alcohol, and cocaine.
I've had 240 operations. I had already been taking opioid for over 30 years. I had lost all hope until I took that first dose of Kratom.
In the heart of America and around the world, a botanical revolution is brewing. A humble plant known as Kratom is captivating minds and igniting debates.
The FDA wanted to schedule Kratom and have it banned in the United States.
There is no one that can credibly say that the FDA is not heavily influenced by pharma.
As a member of the coffee family, it is praised for its reported benefits
I have stopped 19 out of 21 meds because of Kratom.
and vilified for its potential dangers.
So why does she hate it though?
She says that, people have been known to die from it.
3 people have died from Kratom. That's 2 more than last year.
Kratom saved my life. It saved my kid's life. My life's completely different now.
It stands at the crossroad of hope
We have our son back.
and controversy.
So what's the legal consequences if you're caught with Kratom in your state?
Well, you could be arrested.
But not all is well for the botanical newcomer. In an ever-divided nation, 2 opposing forces clash with fervor. On one side, impassioned advocates extol its life-saving virtues.
A Kratom advocate is somebody who publicly and passionately advocates to keep Kratom legal.
On the other, grieving voices mourn the loss of loved ones, attributing it to Kratom's alleged dark side.
A mother testified about the death of her son, and she said that her son had taken pure Kratom and had died.
In the halls of power, conflicting voices echo. The Food and Drug Administration sounds the alarm, branding Kratom as a perilous opioid.
Substances like Kratom fall into this conundrum where FDA can say, well, there's no benefit.
While the former head of Health and Human Services has warned of dire consequences if the plant were to be banned.
If there were truly 44 people that died of Kratom and there are hundreds more that they claim, it would be banned.
Yeah.
The HHS said, no, it's not accurate.
Reaching far back through the centuries, Kratom's story weaves through the fabric of Southeast Asian history, steeped in tradition, culture, and yes, controversy. It has been the companion of laborers and the solace of the suffering for centuries. In the modern world, its allure is promising and concerning. From the toiling fields to the urban sprawl, its users seek refuge from the shackles of depression, anxiety, opioid withdrawal, and the relentless grip of chronic pain.
I was on my way out the door to take my own life.
Yet amidst the clamor, a sobering truth emerges. Kratom's rise underscores a society grappling with the fallout of opioid overprescription and a populace desperate for relief from a healthcare system that has turned its back on them.
They fired me, and in the midst of me trying to find another pain management doctor, that's when I went to the streets and started doing cocaine.
In the tumult of conflicting narratives and fervent beliefs, one question lingers.
I'm noticing from talking to people that how many programs are there for the decriminalization of hard drugs because it's safer for people to consume rather than getting it in other illicit ways, and yet a lot of very powerful people are coming down on Kratom trying to make it illegal. That to me is suspicious.
Is Kratom a life-saving herb or a botanical menace?
Coroners called almost 60% of these deaths due to kratom or metragine.
As the debate rages on, the answer fades further into obscurity among the barrage of misinformation and implicit bias.
You were put in jail facing all these crazy charges for a plant.
Yeah, man, I do think it's bullshit.
But it appeared that the government was trying to do all they could to promote false information about Kratom.
Join us
We're making a Kratom documentary
as we travel the globe, interviewing real people with real stories and discovering why people support or condemn this mysterious herb.
I survived addiction.
We will be presenting the facts, challenging the narrative, and determining if the case for Kratom can stand on its own.
I really stepped out of my comfort zone a lot.
For better or for worse.
Again, many of the individuals who currently are suffering from opioid addictions, they're most likely not even aware of the fact that Kratom is available. I think it's one of nature's miracles.
So join us as we tell the tale of a little-known plant in Southeast Asia.
Wow.
So
That is
awesome.
just amazing to watch. I'm still just blown away the second time around. And that tribute to Marshall at the end. Oof.
Well, that put my heart at ease because I was worried that you guys wouldn't like it.
No, I think it was a great way to end it with Marshall.
Yeah.
And look at all these great comments. People love it.
His story needs to be told 100%, and that's going to be a pretty larger focus in the full film. You know, it needs to be told. So,
yeah. So it many parts of the story keep developing. You know, we're starting with the story of Kratom itself, as we've discussed, but there's so many sub stories like that with Marshall Price, with Shayna Brown, with his daughter Julian Price. Like, there's so many stories that absolutely need to be told because it's so important that they get discovered, what they went through, what we can do about it. So it's opening a lot of doors. And I think right now we're just trying to focus on doing the best we can and making sure this movie is as best as it can be. And if there's other opportunities to tell more amazing stories, then we'd be honored to do that too.
it's for the community. It's for the community. And I hope everyone can tell that by the trailer. That
I love how the trailer is just, I love how it's all just set up, especially the beginning, the middle, and the end. It's like the perfect way to present.
Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah, very well
Perfect.
done, Tim.
Yeah.
Thank you so
And
much.
all the community that's in there, recognizing everybody, and then each person that watches it is going to recognize everybody and tell somebody else. It's just awesome.
Yeah. And it's great because me and Tim really worked together. We bounced ideas off each other, and I couldn't have done it without him. 100%.
I mean, me and Jordan work together. Like I said, we push each other. We hold each other accountable. But even the community as a whole, if there wasn't an audience like thirsting for it, why would we publish anything? But it's this perfect cycle of everyone working together, and I think that's appropriate for a story like this. That is kind of like I keep saying, it's a story about you. It's a story about every single one of you. So we all come together and make this an amazing story because no one here is trying to hog all the credit or anything like that. We're telling everybody's story together. And I think that's the best approach. That's, for something as big as this, that's the most honorable way I could think of doing it. But
Make
I wouldn't
sure
be here.
you guys, yeah, sorry, Tim.
It's good.
I know the AKA is supposed to try to establish an interim meeting with the Arkansas legislator about Kratom. So make sure you guys save some time and or money, that way because we all plan on, us advocates that are willing and able, we all plan on going to show up there in numbers. So that would be another way for y'all to get footage with Julian and her family.
Yeah. When is it?
We don't know yet. It's going to be anywhere between now and September, somewhere around there. I'm waiting for Mac to confirm when the actual date is.
So is everyone staying in like a state over, I'm guessing, and then driving?
Staying on the state over.
Yeah, me too.
Oh yeah, I'm 4
Yeah.
hours away, so I'll just go that day. And
I'd have to be in another state because I'd have to go take my Kratom.
Yeah, 100%.
Well, we thought about that too. If we had to travel, and we had to go through Arkansas or Alabama or whatever, like what would we do? So that's something we'd have to figure out logistically. But also too, I'd want to go to like Illinois also because I want to know why. I mean, I have an idea as to why they don't like Kratom there, but still, it's better to hear it from the exact people. So
I mean Indiana. You meant Indiana, right?
Is it Indiana? Oh, I thought it was
Indiana. It's all good.
What Illinois is doing right now is they're going village by village and knocking Kratom down. They're banning the sale of it.
Yeah,
and all these different Chicago suburbs right now is what they're doing. One after the other together.
See, we need to tell that story. We need to figure out why, or at least get it from them.
Yeah.
So
but Mitzi, why is it not Chicago? Why is it just the suburbs around Chicago?
I don't know.
Do we know? Because it's interesting, right?
But see, that's something we can go there and ask.
We don't know where the information funneled from.
Right.
Yeah.
So, and then like right now, Tuesday, there's a hearing to ban it in Tangipahoa Parish, Louisiana. So now Louisiana's starting back up with their bullshit.
Wow.
It never ends.
Maybe that's why something like this is so important too, because it would put all the information out there for people to see for themselves and draw their own conclusions as to why, is this really dangerous? Is it not? Why are we banning it? And I think it would be a good force of good. So yeah, we're gonna keep hammering away at it. This was like the biggest hurdle to just get this trailer launched and then start it. But now that that's done, we can move forward to the next one. Updates are going to be on my YouTube. It's my name, YouTube at Tim Chicaul. And we'll be sharing updates there on the coffee website. We're going to post updates there as well. And then Jordan just made another Facebook group for people that want to be directly involved with the movie. We can post updates and share it there as well. So we're trying to be as active with the community as possible, so that we just produce the best thing that we can for everybody.
And we're totally open to suggestions as well, because again, obviously me and Tim are doing this, but it's for the whole community. So people out there have great ideas. If you hear something, please let us know. We'll try to make it possible. There's so many opportunities out there. I know in my heart like the way we need to go and what needs to be said, and I know Tim can make it look really good on screen. But having more than one eye is always a great thing. And
more than one eye,
no, I meant like having multiple heads on something. I give up. You know what I meant. You know what I was trying to say. You get what I was trying to say.
We're following.
And if people can't donate, no worries whatsoever. If people can share it, that's great. Again, we're just trying to really get it done as soon as possible. But that's where we're at. So
yeah.
Well, thanks for spending time with us and being here while we premiered the new trailer, and really excited. And I hope people will donate to help support this. But you got a great community of supporters just right here. So
yes,
you can always count on us, the Kratom Gals.
Well, thank you so much.
Yeah, thanks for having us on. This was a great time.
Absolutely. We'll definitely have y'all back on. Oh, look at you, Jennifer.
Look at Jennifer.
I love it.
Jennifer just discovered this yesterday.
Going out with a bang.
Watch this one.
Yes.
None of
That's
us
how I
can
feel
get it to
about
work.
this. It's awesome.
Yeah.
The laser.
None of us can do it.
No, it doesn't work.
Only Jennifer.
Yeah. Jennifer's the lucky one.
And then, sorry, before we go, Tim, are you able to send them all the film itself, or is it just through Is it just through YouTube that they share the link?
Just for now, just share the YouTube link. We're gonna upload in more places for people to share, but right now that's the best place to share it.
And that's
I'll
your
be heading to
YouTube.
TikTok.
It is my YouTube, yeah.
Yeah,
So,
that's where I was showing it from. Okay. Are
Yeah.
y'all going to set up a YouTube channel specifically for the documentary?
So we're figuring that out. Right now, I think it would be best if we consolidated it, and then if it keeps expanding into more of the one-on-one interviews, we might spin off a separate channel. But right now, we're just keeping it all on my YouTube because it's I have all that linked in with my software. I can just beam it right to YouTube.
Gotcha.
Yeah, like I said, we'll be in touch with the community. We'll post updates if anything changes. We'll let everybody know. But right now, that's the best place to share it.
And Jordan, you need a part 2 for Thankful for Kratom.
I already have 3 of them. I already have 3 of them done. They're getting edited right now.
You know what's funny? In case we missed the deadline, which we didn't, Jordan has been cooking up some music that he was going to try to produce. I don't mean to spoil anything, but he's got his own little things. That he's definitely the music guy and the video guy. So,
Y'all want me to,
we got a lot of stuff to figure.
y'all want me to play his video on the way? You know, that's what we've been doing here lately at the Kratom Gals. The last, I don't know, month or so, we've been playing your video as the closeout. Your song.
Oh, this new song's way better, but I appreciate it.
We like your song. So
I love it. I love it.
I do too.
we do. We really love it. Yeah.
Thank you.
So we can play that for the closeout. The real like we're really gonna go. I tell you, when we do these live streams, it's hard to stop because we just have so much fun here.
It is
and
fun.
We really appreciate all the people that are here live with us too. Thank you all so much.
Yeah,
and
thanks
please
everybody
share
for
this.
watching.
And
Thank
they're-
you.
they're
I'm so glad we
replayable.
got to do this. This was just great. This is great. I'm excited.
I feel better now. People have seen it. Like all day I've been like sweating, nervous. I'm like, oh god, people are gonna hate this. And then I'm so glad you guys like it. So it's
Oh,
great.
we love it. I think the comments here, people are really digging
I'll have
the
to
trailer.
read them.
And we hope people will donate. Please, even if it's just a couple of bucks, every bit helps.
It
'Cause
certainly
they have
does.
a ways
And like
to go.
Yeah, and it's every cent is going towards the project. We're not keeping any of that for ourselves. It's to help us get this done. So we all appreciate everyone's generosity. Just, whatever you can give, it'd be awesome.
Yeah. Well, let's
I know
Jordan's
Tracy.
cool song.
Tracy just said, "I wish it was coming out today." I know, me too.
Yeah. We can't wait.
We
It'll
got
be a while,
we
but
got a long ways to go, and we have a lot more people we have to interview before we can come out with something like that. But it's full steam ahead now. We're just gonna start putting stuff out there, and we look forward to seeing what the community thinks about it.
yeah. For anybody that just arrived or got here late, we have a whole hour conversation here. So as soon as we're done here, you can watch the replay of this. Wherever you're at, there'll be a replay available. But yeah, let's close it out with Jordan's awesome song because it's just so good. Is that okay, Jordan? Is that all right with you?
Of course, I'm just a little
Well,
bashful.
do send us a new one when you can. We'll play a new one. But yeah, we
You wouldn't think Jordan is shy with how much this song slaps.
we love this song. So we're gonna jam out to this and then we'll close out. So y'all, thank everybody y'all for being here today.
Yeah,
thank you.
everybody.
Thanks, everybody.
I'ma spit a little story, I'ma keep it brief. My life is so insane, but it changed with just a leaf. It made me feel complete. I never thought I would. Used to be that person that's rehearsing to pretend he's good. I felt misunderstood. To feel good, I would pop pills. I'm not fronting. Popping 20 Norcos, that was nothing. Took too many, it was plenty, couldn't handle it. Mama, she was crushed when I was rushed away by ambulance. Feeling so pathetic, man. I can barely stand it off. Surrounded by paramedics, so I told them about the tramadol. How many I took. Their looks were so embarrassing.
But I had to go, my liver burning like some kerosene. Right now, God, I'm thankful for Kratom. So happy that you made it. Tell you right now, never back down. Let's just band together and let nobody take it. Right now, God, I'm thankful for Kratom. So happy that you made it. Tell you right now, never back down. Let's just band together and let nobody take it.
See, the worst thing is when people try to come in and take away your freedom. Just because they're not profiting from something, they'd rather you be sick than healthy. They'd rather be wealthy than you be well.
See, I don't know where I'd be without this plan. It's not a facade, changed who I am. Used to be an addict, nowadays I am a man. I don't think you understand, I don't think you understand.
Yo, life as an addict, it was so over dramatic, act sporadic, you piss, and then you flip like some acrobatics. Listen to me, I would never steer you wrong. We should chant about the plan that helps us all just get along. I love the volley, makes me jolly, filled with happiness. I'm the guy who loves the tie, sprinkle with some capitalist. I think it's awesome and delicious. Every day the FDA lies and tries to make it look so vicious. I wonder why, rather have the sick than healthy. Long as their pockets are wealthy, driving in the Bentley, they prevent me from living free. Actually, it's just a tea, lets you live so happily.
But they ain't getting paid cause it ain't man-made. Right now, God, I'm thankful for Kratom. So happy that you made it. Tell you right now, never back down. Let's just band together and let nobody take it. Right now, God, I'm thankful for Kratom. So happy that you made it. Tell you right now, never back down. Let's just band together and let nobody take it.
I never get tired of watching that.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a bop.
Yeah.
Thank
Thank
you.
you so much for doing this. We'll be back on Saturday for the regular edition of the Kratom Gals, and we'll probably play your trailer again for the
Oh
documentary.
yeah.
Play it as much as you want. Share it around. I want
And we
it.
will. We will for sure. So y'all have a great rest of your day. We'll be
Cool.
back.
Thank you.
Bye everybody.
We'll see y'all later. Bye.
Bye.